and join all these points with a smooth curve. So for better practice, we should draw a curve like this. And this curve shows the true shape of this section. This also should be drawn with the full line, and as it's a true shape, draw section lines like this. Again, here also you should take care that these section lines should make 45-degree angle with the x dash y dash, not xy, that is the reference axis or auxiliary plane, like this. And you write it's a true shape of this section. You can erase all these lines as it's not needed, and this is the solution which is redrawn over here. Name of various views are shown: sectional front view, top view, and a true shape of the section, name of respective points, and angle of this cutting plane with xy line which is 60 degree. So that is example number 2. Now example number 3. Third problem, the data is given like this. A pentagonal pyramid, base 25 mm sides and axis 60 mm long, is standing on its base on horizontal plane on one of its base side such that the base of the pyramid inclined at 45 degree to horizontal plane. It is cut by a cutting plane passing through the midpoint of the axis and parallel to horizontal plane. Draw its projections and sectional views. So here pentagonal pyramid is given to us, dimensions are given, and it is cut by a cutting plane which passes through the midpoint of the axis and parallel to HP. In short, the data could be written like this. It's a pentagonal pyramid 25 by 60, base 45 degree to HP, and cutting plane passes through the axis midpoint and parallel to HP. The small data or shortened data, first of all draw XY line that represents intersection of HP and VP. The given case is like this. This is the pentagonal pyramid, and here one side is perpendicular to XY line, and this pentagon represents the top view of this solid, and this triangle shows front view of this pentagonal pyramid having side length 25 mm and height 60 mm. So first the pentagon side length is given 25 mm. So draw a line segment perpendicular to XY line of given length, that is 25 mm. Right? This is the first step. Then draw a pentagon taking this line as a base line. So this is the pentagon having side length 25 mm below XY line. There are numbers of methods to draw the pentagon. You can use universal method or tricircle method or simple angle method. What is that angle method? Angle method is that to measure this internal angle. The internal angle for the pentagon is equal to 108 degree. So this angle should be 108 degree. Each angles would be 108 degree. After drawing this pentagon in the top view, name the endpoints A, B, C, D and E, and find out axis of this pentagon. So for that, join each corner with the midpoint of opposite side. Say midpoint of BC is somewhere here. So join A with midpoint of BC, and midpoint of AB is here. So join point D with this point, and both this line will intersect at one point. This is the point, and through this point draw a section line or axis, and this line represents the axis of this solid. Now height is given, that is 60 mm. So from this XY line at a distance of 60 mm, mark a point on this axis. Then from A and B draw projection line. From C and E draw projection line. From D draw a projection line, and join all these points with the apex point So this is the front view, and this OE and OC would be visible. So that is to be represented by full line like this. So this is the front view and top view of first line as shown over here. Now second, name the endpoints A dash, B dash, C dash, E dash and D dash would be here in the front view, and apex point O dash would be here. Now it is given that a cutting plane, yes, here this edges would be visible in top view, slant edges like this. So join O with A dash, O with A, O with B, O with C, OD and OE. So this is the top view of this shape. Now second, this is the base which makes an angle of 45 degree to HP. So here it is given that the base makes an angle of 45 degree. So we have to tilt this solid in such a way that this base ABCDE makes an angle of 45 degree with XY line. So first draw a line at an angle of 45 degree with XY line. Name the endpoints. A dash, B dash is here. Measure the distance of A dash, B dash to A dash D dash and mark it over here. So this is A dash, this is D dash point. Similarly point C dash and E dash would be here. So this base is redrawn over here. Name this point as C dash and E dash. And by drawing arcs or by measuring the distance, you can locate point number O dash. How to locate point number O dash? So for that, measure the distance A dash to O dash, take A as a center, A dash O dash as a radius, draw an arc, then measure the distance D dash to O dash, take D dash as a center, draw an arc with the radius D dash O dash, and both these arc will meet at one point, and this is the point O dash. Join this O dash point with A dash and with D dash like this. Similarly locate point number C dash and E dash and join it with the apex point O dash like this. So this is the front view, tilted front view. This front view is tilted at an angle of 45 degree, base with XY line, and this is the axis. That also we can transfer from this to here. Now how to draw its top view? So for that, from A dash and B dash, draw straight vertical line. From D dash or A from A, straight horizontal line. Both will meet at one point. Mark that point. Then vertical line from point, this is point number A1. Vertical line from point B dash like this. Horizontal line from point B. Both will meet at one point B. Name it as point number B1. From point C dash, straight vertical line. From point C, horizontal line. Here is point number C1. Similarly, vertical line from point D dash, horizontal line from point D. Here is point number D1. And point number horizontal line from point E, vertical line from E dash. This is point number E1. So this is the base. Of course, if you are looking from the top, this base would not be fully visible. A1, B1 will be invisible. A1, E1 and B1, C1 will also be invisible. So we have to join them with the dotted lines. Now about apex point. Vertical line from O dash, horizontal line from point O. Both will meet at one point, and this is point O, O1. Now join these points. A1, B1 will not be visible as it is here. If you are looking from top, this A1, B1 will be invisible. So join A1, B1 with the dotted line like this. A1, B1, C1 with the dotted line. C1, D1 with the full line. D1, E1 with the full line. As it's a outside line, it would be always visible. E1, A1 with the dotted line. D1, O1, OD, O dash, D dash in front view. In top view, O1, D1. If you're looking from here, this line would be visible. So join with the full line. E1, O1 fully visible. C1, E1 C1 O1 fully visible, A1 O1 that will not be visible, and slant edge O1 B1 will also not be visible. So it is represented by the dotted line like this. So we have drawn up to this step. 2 lines has been drawn. Now third line. A cutting plane passes through the midpoint of the axis and parallel to HP. So here we need to find out midpoint of the axis, and this is the midpoint, and through this midpoint draw a horizontal line, and this is the cutting plane line like this. Is it clear? This one. Horizontal line from the midpoint of the axis, and this is the cutting plane line for us. Now locate various points, intersection of these slant edges and cutting plane. Here 2 points are there. One is on O dash A dash, that is point number 1. On O dash B dash, point number 2 would be there. From this point, draw straight vertical line that will cut O1 A1 and O1 B1 at 2 points, point number 1 and point number 2. Then point number 3 and 5 would be here, intersection of O dash C dash and O dash E dash, and this cutting plane line. From that point, draw straight vertical line that will cut O1 C1 and O1 E1 at 2 points. These are the points. And D, here is point number O dash D dash and this horizontal line. This is the cutting plane. From here, draw straight vertical line that will cut O1 D1 at this point. So 5 points are identified over here. Point number 4, here is point number 4. So join all these points 1, 2, 3, 4 with the straight line 1, 2, 3, 4 and back to 5 and 1. Right? Now erase this internal portion like this, as it's not as it's a cut portion. Draw section lines in this. So this is front view, this is top view, and this is the true shape of the section. I hope the solution of this problem is clear to you. This shows true shape, front view and top view. The cutting plane is passing through the midpoint of the axis, and the base of this pentagonal pyramid makes an angle of 45 degree with HP, that is XY line in this front view. Now second problem, example number 4. The data is given like this. A hexagonal prism resting on its rectangular face such that the axis is parallel to both the planes HP and VP, and it is cut by a cutting plane inclined at 60 degree to HP and bisecting the axis. Draw sectional top view and true shape of the section. Side length is 25 mm and axis is 60 mm. So here hexagonal prism is given. It is resting on its rectangular base. So in short, data can be written like this. Hexagonal prism 25 by 60 resting on its rectangular face, cutting plane 60 degree to HP. So first of all, draw XY line to represent intersection of both the planes HP and VP. Draw hexagon below XY line, side length 25 mm. Here 2 types of hexagon could be drawn. One is that 2 sides are perpendicular to XY line, and another is that 2 sides are parallel to XY line. So which case should be taken over here? Here in the second step, it is given that it is lying on its rectangular face. As we know, hexagon is having 2 hexagonal faces and 6 rectangular faces. It is resting on its rectangular face. So first this case should be drawn. Now from end points, draw projection lines like this, and this rectangle shows front view of this hexagonal prism, and this edge shows this corner. This corner is represented by this full line, which is visible like this. And here it is given that this hexagonal prism is resting on its rectangular face. So we have to tilt this rectangular face like this. Take it over here and tilt like this. This hexagonal face is tilted like this. We have redrawn this rectangle in such a way that it lies on XY line. Then take projection lines from front view, vertical lines from this front view, and appropriate horizontal lines from this top view like this, and we can draw its sectional top view like this. This shows the sectional the top view of this solid. If this hexagonal prism is lying on its rectangular face on HP, this would be its front view and top view. Now let me draw this problem. So here up to this step we have drawn two front view and top view is drawn. Now it is given that a cutting plane passes through the midpoint of the axis. So this is the axis, find out midpoint, it is somewhere here, and through that midpoint draw a cutting plane line, and that cutting plane line makes an angle of 60 degree with XY line. So this shows the cutting plane line, two long days, two small days, one long days like this, and so on. This is the cutting plane line. And now find out the points of intersection between this cutting plane line and respective points. So for that, let me name the end points. So we start from here, point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 endpoints are there, and accordingly 1 days, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days and 6 days, 6 points are there. Transfer all these points over here. So here point number 4 days, 5 days, here is point number 3 days and 6 days, here is point number 1 days and 2 days, right? Now in top view, here is point number 1 and 5, 2 and 4, 3 and 6. Here are the respective points. Now on 1 and 2, on 1 days and 2 days, here 2 points would be there. So name those points, point number P1 dash and P2 dash here, and from that point draw straight vertical line, and that will cut horizontal line from point 1 and